Welcome back to the Basement Integrity Podcast by Icerino. This is episode 54, and today our theme is drain tile systems and basement protection in Toronto.
Yeah, and it is a really, really crucial topic for anyone living in the GTA.
Oh, absolutely. Like if you tuned into our last deep dive, Why Your Basement Smells Musty Even When It Looks Dry, you probably remember we hinted at this exact issue.
Right, the whole underground infrastructure problem.
Exactly. That hidden system is very often the root cause of that exact musty smell. So our mission today is to explain what a drain tile system actually is, why Toronto's older homes are sitting on a ticking time bomb, and how our team at Icerino approaches fixing them.
It's the perfect time to be getting into this, honestly, because, we spend thousands on countertops, but the true health of your house is buried under the grass.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the name itself is, well, confusing. What even is a drain tile? I mean, calling modern PVC pipe a drain tile is like calling a smartphone a rotary dial.
Yeah, it's a complete misnomer today.
Yes.
But to understand why we call it a tile, you have to look at history. For a huge chunk of the 20th century, contractors didn't have corrugated plastics.
Right.
So they used actual terracotta clay. They were literally baked clay cylinders, maybe a foot long, just laid end to end in the dirt around the footing of the house.
Wait, really? Just individual clay tubes, like no continuous pipe at all?
Exactly. No rubber gaskets, no glue. They just butted these unsealed terracotta cylinders up against each other, threw some gravel over them, and buried them.
So the water was just supposed to naturally find the tiny gaps between those unsealed segments?
That was the whole design, yeah. And it worked fine for a while. But here is the critical piece of info for you if you live in an older home. Those clay systems were only engineered to last about 30 to 50 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, doing some quick mental math, if your Toronto home was built before, say, 1985, you probably have this original clay tile.
You do.
Which means if you are in a 1950s or 60s home, that system is already way past its expiration date.
Yeah, you're essentially living on borrowed time. I mean, think about it. It's the exact same baked clay used for flower pots.
Right, which breaks if you just drop it on the patio.
Exactly. Now imagine burying that flower pot 6 feet underground for decades. Freezing, thawing, water pressure, it becomes incredibly brittle, and they just collapse.
But it's not just the age destroying them, right? It's what they are buried in. The Toronto soil plays a massive part in this underground battle.
Oh, tremendously. Toronto sits on this complex mix of glacial till and lake sediment. So older neighborhoods like East York or Scarborough, they have heavy clay soil.
And clay expands when it gets wet, doesn't it?
It does. It acts like a giant sponge. It expands when saturated and shrinks during a drought. That constant seasonal shifting puts immense mechanical stress on those old, fragile pipes.
Which is wild because, Toronto gets about 780 millimeters of precipitation annually, and spring snowmelt combined with heavy rain can just dump water on us.
Yeah, and that instantly overwhelms a weak system. When that heavy clay soil gets completely saturated, the water tries to push its way into your empty basement.
Which is that hydrostatic pressure we hear about.
Exactly. Thousands of pounds of lateral force just pressing against your foundation. The drain tile's job is to relieve that pressure. But if the pipe is collapsed...
the pressure just builds up until it finds a crack in the wall.
Yep, and then your basement floods.
Okay, let me ask about trees, though. Because Toronto has these massive, beautiful, mature trees. Don't they drink up all that water and actually help keep the soil dry?
Well, it's a logical thought, but no. Tree roots are highly aggressive moisture seekers. Maples, willows, cottonwoods, they find those tiny gaps in the old clay joints and just invade the pipes.
Oh, because it's a constant water source for them.
Exactly. They colonize the inside of the pipe. It creates this dense, fibrous mat that catches all the sediment until the entire line is choked off.
So if a homeowner has roots in their system, couldn't our team just, hydrojet it? Just blast the roots out?
No. That is a massive warning we give people. You can hydrojet new PVC, but doing that to old clay will obliterate it.
Because the high pressure just shatters the brittle clay.
Right. You blow out the joints. Systemic failure requires full replacement, not just patching one root ball.
So once the system fails, how does our Icerino team actually fix it? Let's talk interior versus exterior solutions.
Sure. So exterior drain tile is the gold standard. We dig outside, right down to the footing level, and stop the water before it ever touches your foundation.
But that's incredibly disruptive, right? Like tearing up landscaping and driveways.
Very disruptive, yeah.
Yeah.
We're excavating 4 to 6 feet deep. It's costly, usually $15,000 to $30,000 or more.
Wow. So what's the alternative if you don't have that budget or, space?
An interior drain tile or a French drain. We run it inside the basement perimeter. We break the concrete edge, put pipe in gravel trenches, and route it to a sump pump. Then we pour new concrete.
And that's cheaper.
Yeah, roughly 8 to 15,000.
Okay, but if the interior method lets the water penetrate the wall first, why would anyone ever choose it over exterior?
It comes down to the practical realities of Toronto real estate. Think about semi-detached homes or zero lot lines.
Oh, right. You physically can't get an excavator in there without hitting the neighbor's property.
Exactly. Interior solves the flooding and mold without starting a neighborhood dispute.
That makes total sense. So how does a listener know if they need to polish right now? What are the warning signs?
Visible dampness of the floor and wall joint is a big one. Or yard puddles that just won't drain.
What about a sump pump that runs constantly, even when it hasn't rained?
Yes, that means your water table is artificially high. And of course, efflorescence, those white mineral deposits on your concrete, that persistent musty odor.
But there's a major danger sign too, right? Something structural.
Yeah, if you see horizontal foundation cracks or bowing walls, that means sustained hydrostatic pressure. It requires immediate structural attention.
Scary stuff. So what is the very first step someone should take?
A low-cost video pipe camera inspection. Our team drops the camera down there to see exactly what's going on. We don't guess.
And there's actually a massive financial help for this too, right?
Yeah. The City of Toronto's Basement Flooding Protection Subsidy Program. They can reimburse homeowners for sump pumps, backwater valves, and potentially drain tile work.
That is amazing. So wrapping this up, drain tiles work quietly until they don't. Being proactive is always cheaper than a flooded basement.
Absolutely.
Remember, we at Acerino serve Toronto, Etobicoke, North York, Scarborough, and East York. Contact us for a camera inspection.
And I'll leave you with this to mull over. Take a look out your window at your front yard today. That beautiful, giant, 60-year-old maple tree providing you with gorgeous summer shade. Think about what its root system might be silently doing to your 60-year-old clay drain tiles right beneath your feet.
Well, that's a terrifying thought to end on. Thanks for joining our deep dive today. Stay dry, and we'll catch you next time.